Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of AscensionU podcast. My name is John. I'm going to be your host today and moving forward. So before we dive in, let me give you a bit of background about myself for those of us who are meeting for the first time. Some of you may be familiar with the work I do. If not, welcome to our community. I look forward to getting to know you on a more of a personal basis. But before we dive in and discuss, what is AscensionU, what can you expect from this show in terms of the content and in terms of making it practical for yourself and how you can get more deeply involved with what we are doing. So I'm a performance mindset coach. I'm based over in Hong Kong, and I'm blessed to be able to coach and impact the lives of people across the world. Work with business owners, entrepreneurs, right across the US, Canada, UK, Hong Kong, basically right across the globe. And this is the newest project that we are doing at Systems Coaching Academy, which is our AscensionU Club. So I'm going to dive in and share a little bit about our mission and our vision today, so you get a deeper understanding of what to expect over the coming weeks and what you can get from these episodes. So our mission at AscensionU was to impact the lives of 5 million people over the next 10 years. Now that might seem like a big lofty goal for you, but I'm a big believer in setting big lofty goals that stretch me and stretch my capabilities and wake me up every day inspired to take action and move towards something that's just much bigger than myself. So our goal is to impact the lives of 5 million people through our AscensionU Club. And in doing so, create a ripple effect of positive growth and change where we cultivate a world of good people, people who are positive and people who are growth orientated, where people can live in harmony without all of the conflicts that we have in the world today. So as you can see, it's a big goal and a big mission of mine, but this is a part of why we're starting this podcast, because I can't do this alone, and it's up to me to provide you with the information and the knowledge and the skills that I've been able to learn and through my own personal development journey and my own journey as a coach and the work I've done with my clients, so we can create a bigger impact and have a deeper effect on change throughout the world. So in terms of the vision of why we do is, everyone here knows or has invested in self-development in some form, whether it be via books, whether it be podcasts like you're listening to today, or whether you've gone to feel-good seminars throughout your time studying personal development or trying to better yourself. But for a lot of people, what they don't know is that they have these negative cycles that they always continue back to. And why is that? Because 80% of what we think about on a daily basis is negative. So our thinking thermometer is basically set to negative 80% of the time. And every time we try to adjust that dial and bring it back to positive, it only really lasts about 20% of the time, because our negative story is always what's going to come back to the surface unless we can proactively change that. So that explains why the self-development industry is worth 12 billion plus a year and growing, one of the fastest growing industries in the world, but yet so many people are left feeling unfulfilled, not feeling happy, not feeling content within themselves, because they're not addressing the deeper subconscious issues of how they see themselves and how this affects how they show up in the world. So that is where AscensionU comes in, and what we are doing that's going to be different in terms of creating a club where people can not only learn, but number one, get the practical tools and support that they need via educational videos. Number two, these educational videos are turned into games, interactive games, that's going to help you increase the repetition of what you're learning, but also build a sense of community and also build that sense of competition, which is always healthy. So you can compete against people that you know in terms of your learning, and the more points you build, the higher you go up on the leaderboard. And eventually then we're going to turn it into a self-development World Cup where different countries can compete against each other. So this is all in the pipeline of the actual vision. But for those who are already involved in the inner circle of AscensionU will know that we have a weekly live training with me where I dive deep into one of the pillars that we are exploring inside of AscensionU. And finally then we have our ambassador program, which is then going to certify different people who come through our community who want to share our message and become leaders of our movement, our self-development club, which is our AscensionU. So AscensionU is going to form with 3 subgroups within the group. So number 1 is AscensionU, right? So this is going to be for any like-minded self-development enthusiasts who love to read, who love to grow, who want to learn more about their mindset, who want to learn more about how can I increase my self-awareness, how can I set goals, how can I learn to regulate my own state, how can I improve my performance, whether it be in a work sense or a business sense. So this is going to be our AscensionU club, and it's going to be based again on our 3 pillars of mindsets, state sets, and perform sets. Our second tier or second club within the club is going to be called AscensionU Teen, which is going to be our club for teenagers. I've always felt it as a purpose of mine that I'm supposed to have some impact on teenagers in some form, based off of the struggles that I went through during my teenage years. It came to my realization that I want to create something that represents or something that I wish I had when I was a teenager, when I was going through those difficult transitions and challenges, when we're in a position in life where we have to make tough decisions about our future with little or no sense of direction, or little or no understanding on how we can actually self-regulate our own emotions, understand our emotions better, so we can actually deal with them. Tier 2 will be AscensionU Teen. And finally, we'll have our AscensionU Corporate Club, which is going to be a high-performance coaching club, where corporate teams can put their teams through our program, through our pillars. They'll also be gamified. The aim is to, of course, increase the culture within the company, but also increase high performance. So that's going to be the 3 tiers of AscensionU and what it's going to look like. In terms of the pillars, I want to share a little bit more because that is where we are going to be diving into in terms of these podcasts to give you more information on the different pillars and how you can use it moving forward. So over my time in self-development, in self-discovery, in coaching, working with all the fantastic coaches I've been blessed to be able to work with, I've come to the realization that there's a couple of things that really made sense to me in the sense of when I'm at my best. When am I performing at my best on a consistent basis? And that's what we all really want to get to, is how can I perform consistently over time? That's not really forced, but is coming from a good narrative and a place that we're feeling good. So that is how the 3 pillars were created. Number 1, mindsets. What are the different mindsets that we have that dictate how we show up in the world, that are dictating how we feel on a daily basis? And how can we become more self-aware of our current mindsets and then recreate a new mindset that empowers us to move towards our actual goals? So mindset's the foundation. And until we really change things at a mindset level, then everything else is really you trying to force a circle hole into a triangle. We have to start by addressing the deeper rooted issue, which is mostly stemming from that subconscious place. It's stemming from self-concept, how you see yourself. It's stemming from your beliefs, your values, where you grew up, all of this that's constructed a certain story about you, what you expect from yourself, and what you expect from the world, which is blocking your growth, which is blocking you from ascending towards your best self. Hence the name AscensionU. So mindsets is the foundation. Then we have state sets. Anyone who's learned or studied NLP will be familiar with the term state, right? What is it that makes us perform at a consistent level over and over and over again? We can feel crappy and perform well for periods of time, but try to do that for a sustained period of time consistently. You're going to fall back into an old pattern that's going to lead to you probably procrastinating, self-sabotaging, and so on. We need to learn how to feel good. We need to learn how to manage our own state instead of our state managing us. And this is stemming from the story that we carry, which is impacting how we feel, which is then in turn the final pillar, which is perform sets. Perform sets is going to be the cherry on the cake. How do we now optimize our performance so we're being as efficient and as effective as we possibly can? So we feel like we're in control of life, career, relationships, health are all in the green. We move from that world of chaos to a sense of control. Because we have the right narrative, driving the right feelings, which in turn is now driving performance levels. So these are the three pillars, which of course are broken down into sub-pillars and subcategories, all stuff that we will be diving into in AscensionU or AscensionU Inner Circle, but you're also going to be getting an insight here in this actual podcast. So that's it for today. A simple introduction to me, what you can expect from me as a host, what AscensionU is all about, what is our bigger mission, which is to impact the lives of 5 million people, how, by creating a gamified self-development club where you can not only just learn something, but now you can implement it and you can build the repetition around it to make it stick, which is going to be via our game, and you can compete with like-minded people who are all on their own ascension path. So that is it for today, episode 1. It's been my pleasure to bring it to you, and I really, really look forward to diving deeper over the next couple of weeks, hopefully years, as this podcast takes off. At the beginning, it's just going to be me, but as we progress, then we'll be bringing in some guests who are familiar in the realm of mindsets, familiar in the realms of state sets and performance sets. All right, so that's it for today. Be well, take care, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next episode.